Bo Digital is the secret ingredient you need for success in marketing your small business. From logos and flyers to social media and videos, Bo Digital can create the marketing you need to set yourself apart. Oh, and they build websites too. Not only do they help my small business, but did you know that they help many others around Kokomo too, including Solidarity Community Credit Union, the Lindy Owsley and Chanel Cahill Real Estate Team, Hope Behavioral Services, and even the Kokomo Symphony. Let Bo build a custom plan for you today. Learn more at bowdigital.com. That's BOWE digital.com. I'm Kayla Keith, and this is Murdered Midwest, exclusive content from Missing Midwest. Today's story is a controversial one that will make you question everything, one that will make you pick a side. And since there are two sides to every story, this will be a two-parter.
Uh-oh.
I think this is my first two-parter.
Man. I've done a two-parter once.
You did. OJ.
OJ, the Juice Man.
Which has made people question what they think they know.
Oh, yeah. Get ready for that energy. Kayla's bringing that energy
This
today.
one, yeah. I have wanted to do this case for a long time, but it was kind of just like daunting because there's so much evidence in it. And I was like, if you research it too long, like you'll be researching it forever and ever. So I just dove in and did it. I just did it.
All right. I'm here for it. I know nothing about it.
Here I am. You don't know anything about this case?
Well, who was it? I guess you didn't say a name. We haven't talked about it. Leading up to recording, we haven't talked about it.
We're going to Texas today for the Darlie Routier case.
Name sounds familiar, but nothing comes to mind.
Okay, let me say this. Silly string case.
Still, okay, yep.
Yeah,
At the funeral?
It's mostly known for the silly string.
Okay.
Okay, so I hope you guys got your mail.
Yeah, hey, and if we got cool stickers that we said we were going to get like 5 months ago. So if you didn't get the stickers yet, make sure you email us your address. We want you to have the cool stickers.
Yeah, we only send them to our subscribers.
But like when you sign up for the subscription, it does not give us your address. So
it's probably a good thing to not fill your address.
Absolutely.
True crime life.
Fair enough. It's fair enough. But if you want stickers,
you can send it to us.
You can send it to us.
We're not going to true crime you.
True.
We'll true crime you with stickers.
Hey, listen, before we forget, we got to tell them the fall market's coming. Go ahead and do your little thing.
Oh, yes. If you're in Kokomo, we have a fall market at the shop.
It's pretty epic.
It's at the Jefferson House in Kokomo, and it is all handmade vendors. I only let people that make their products come in. And so we have like 20-some vendors. We're going to have food and music, and then we put all of our fall clothes out for the boutique.
And our candles. No big deal.
Our candles will be there too. But yeah, it's like literally one of my favorite days of the year. I'll be there. Johnny and the kids will be there. Everybody will be there. My family. But it's October 5th from 9 to 3 in Kokomo. So come say hi.
You've got like a week. I don't know if you ordered long sleeve tees from Missing Midwest, if it'd be done in time. But
I will die if I see a Missing Midwest.
But it'd be wicked. It'd be wicked. It'd be a good time to wear it. We have to wear Jefferson House stuff. Whatever.
Yeah, I'll be wearing my new Jefferson House shirt. But like, if I saw a Missing Midwest in the wild at the shop, I'll lose my mind.
It's pretty wild.
If you see me, come find me.
That's right. She'll be the one frantically walking around telling people what to do.
That's exactly what I'll be. Probably limping around, but you'll be able to spot me.
Yeah.
Okay. Case. Ready?
Let's go.
I want to jump in. It might be long.
All right.
No, it's not, because I decided to divide it into two.
That's right.
So
two-part stabs.
Normal time, but still.
Okay.
Okay, Texas. Rowlett, Texas. At the time.
Is it Rowlett or roulette? Let me see how it's spelled.
It's Rowlett.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Started thunder right out of the gate.
1996, population is 35,000. They currently have $3 generals there.
Oof. I feel like it's light.
It is. Especially since population now is like a lot more, but I don't know. Anyway, June 6th, 1996, 2:31 in the morning, 911 dispatchers received a call from the Routier residence, okay? Darlie Routier. She was the mom, okay? And she calls 911 and she tells 911 that her house has been broken into and that somebody has stabbed her and her children. She has a 6-year-old named Devin and a 5-year-old named Damon, and they have been attacked in their home. And so police arrive within 3 minutes, okay? And they discover that there is a window screen in the garage that has been cut open, which is where they assume this intruder came in through. They went ahead and they searched the house, but they did not locate anybody. So as soon as police verified that this person, whoever had attacked this family, was no longer in the house, they let the paramedics come in because Darlie is obviously alive. She's the one that made the 911 call, but she has been attacked. And then one of her sons is still alive. One of them actually was already dead. And then the other one died on the way to the hospital. And so, but since one of them was alive and Darlie was alive, the paramedics immediately came in and started like performing like life-saving measures on them and trying to save them. Darlie did survive. She actually had to undergo surgery and she spent 2 days in the hospital, but she did survive the attack. Her husband was also at home, and they had another 7-month-old boy named Drake who was upstairs asleep with her husband at the time, and so those two were not hurt at all.
So the husband was in the house.
The husband, yes, he was in the house. And so after surgery and everything, Darlie wakes up, and this is the story that she tells police, okay? So her and her husband, so the boys wanted to spend the night in the living room that night. They were having a living room camp out. And so the boys fell asleep in the living room. Her and her husband had talked for a while. Darlie had actually been sleeping on the couch for like a week or two because she was having trouble sleeping with the baby was still in the bedroom, and she just wasn't getting good sleep because of all the little like noises and stuff that the baby was making.
7 months old, is what you said?
7 months old, yeah. Which, you know,
right there, we're right
literally, we're right there, and she wakes me up a million times a night. Just every toss and turn she makes, you're like, what was that? Are they breathing? Are they okay? So
I usually sleep right through that.
he sleeps right through it, yeah. Darlie was out on the couch though because she was trying to catch up on some sleep. And the only way she could actually do that is if she wasn't right next to her baby. So her husband and her stayed up and they talked, watched some TV, and then her husband Darren took the 7-month-old baby upstairs to go to sleep for the night, and then Darlie stayed on the couch, and then the boys were in the living room as well because was the plan. They camped out. Darlie said that she was awoken up because she felt this like pressure on her chest. And she said when she opened her eyes, Damon, the 5-year-old, was standing beside her and he had his hand on her shoulder. And she said she like looked at him, and I can only like imagine she was like trying to focus and like see like, you know, when you wake up, and she like focuses on him and she realizes he's like got blood on him. He's just like staring at her and has blood on him. And so she like kind of looks at him, and when she like continues to look around the room, there's a man standing at the end of the couch, like by her feet. And so she like stands up to like confront this man, like, what are you doing in my house? And as soon as she does, this man turns around and like starts to run out of the house. And so she starts to like chase after him, and she's like screaming her husband's name, like for him to like come. The man dropped, he went through the utility room and back and into the garage. And when he ran through the utility room, he dropped a knife, a butcher knife. Yeah. And so she picked it up and grabbed it like out of instinct, like I'm assuming as a weapon to like protect herself. Like, oh my gosh, you know,
forensically that's gonna be a problem, I assume.
Probably. And so she like grabs this knife and she like is chasing this guy, and he like runs out of the garage and escapes. And so she like is screaming for her husband. And so from then on, it's just like complete chaos. And her husband comes running down the stairs. There's blood everywhere. She's covered in blood. And so she calls 911. Darlie does. And it's like a 6-minute 911 call. And she's just like freaking out. I'm actually going to play a little bit of it for you guys right now.
Oof, big yikes.
911, what is your emergency? Ma'am? What? Who did? Hang on. Hang on, ma'am. Medical emergency, 681 Eagle Drive. Ma'am, I'm trying to get an ambulance to you. Hang on a minute. What's going on, ma'am?
So, I mean, you can hear just like the complete chaos and like frantic that she is like calling. Like both of her boys have been stabbed. Her husband actually went to perform CPR on, I get the boys confused. I believe it was Devin, the 6-year-old. And when he pressed on the chest, blood and air just like sputtered out of the stab wounds, like because he had been stabbed completely through the chest.
Oh man.
And so he, like I said, he had passed away at the house. They transported, Damon, I believe. Like I said, I get confused. The one that woke her up, but he actually died on the way to the hospital. And then Darlie, she also was transported to the hospital. She was treated and released 2 days later. Her wounds were described as like superficial. She had a cut to her arm, and then her neck had been sliced, but they said it wasn't like it didn't kill her. Yeah, like
I mean, she was able to have a 911 call.
Yeah, and so the police described them as superficial wounds. So let's talk about the evidence that we had at this crime scene, because there's a lot of evidence. Okay, the police, obviously, I mean, there's a man has came into this house. I mean, they're like devastated. Like, who would have done this? The police right off the bat are like, we know who did it. Darlie did it. Like
Whoa, they called on. They said the mom from the jump.
From
day
jump.
one.
They were like, this is sketchy. Stanley Cleaning Company has an exciting new service they are offering, and I can't wait to tell you about it. Laundry. Yes, they will come to your house, and for $15 a load, they will pick it up, take it, wash it, dry it, fold it, and bring it back to you. This is something I have dreamed about since I became an adult and started doing laundry on my own. Hit them up and get your place cleaned and your laundry done by my friends over at Stanley Cleaning Company. You can find them on Facebook or give her a call or a text at 765-860-3606. So we'll start with the knife. And so she picked it up from the utility room floor. She said, that's what she said.
Yeah.
There was no blood transfer. So like there was no blood on the utility room floor where she said she picked it up, but there was blood from when she put it down. So like wherever, like when they found the blood at the crime scene, like there was blood under the knife. So if the knife was bloody when she picked it up from the attack,
then it would have dripped on the floor where he dropped it.
Exactly. It did not. So right out of the gate, they're like, that's sketchy. That's not good.
Mega sketchy. Red flag, big time.
So there was also some like things that were knocked over in the living room, but like not that much. There was a vacuum cleaner that was knocked over, and there was a broken wine glass. But that was really the only like things that showed a struggle. There was a bloody footprint under the broken glass, which to police suggested that the glass was broken after the attack, as in like a crime scene was staged. There was jewelry everywhere. Darlie wore a lot of jewelry, and she had taken it all off, and it was on the table, and nobody took it. It was just sitting there. Also, all of their like possessions, like there was lots of things, like that didn't suggest that it was a robbery. There was not a lot of blood on the couch, which Darlie says she woke up with these wounds on her.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's not a deep cut on your throat, you're gonna bleed.
Yeah, there wasn't that much blood. Where she was laying out on the couch. They also said there was a lot of blood over the kitchen sink, and so police thought that she stood over the kitchen sink and cut herself. And then her wounds were superficial, so they were like, "Yeah, she just didn't slice herself like very hard."
Whoa!
She didn't actually, the boys is like I said, they were like some seriously deep stab wounds to their chest. So it was very like forceful and aggressive. Obviously, it killed both of them. And they said, but most intruders like would take out the adult first in the room. Yeah. She was asleep on the couch and she didn't wake up while her kids were being stabbed. So the police thought that was a little sketchy. Yeah.
So when she woke up and the person was at the end of the bed, according to her.
And the couch.
So he had already stabbed the kids.
Yes. Yeah. Her son was covered in blood and had gotten up to wake her up.
And he had already cut her neck?
Yeah, she had already been cut and didn't wake up for her own attack or her kids' attacks.
That's hard to picture.
It's not looking good.
No.
Not looking good. So the screen in the garage, once they started to look at it, they, first of all, they thought it was strange that the entire screen hadn't been taken off. Screens pop off really easy.
Yeah.
So, like most intruders just
rip it off. Yeah.
Like, why do they not going to cut it? Like, whatever. Not saying that people can't cut the screen, but they thought that was weird. There was also a layer of dust on the windowsill that was like completely untouched.
I mean,
there was also mulch outside of the window that was not disturbed. So dust not disturbed, mulch not disturbed. There was also a bread knife inside the kitchen. It was in the same knife block that the butcher knife came out of. The butcher knife was from inside the house.
Okay.
So, like, whoever did this didn't come from
They were in the kitchen.
They were in the kitchen, yeah. They found microscopic pieces of fiberglass on that knife, and it's the fiberglass that screens are made of.
Wait a minute.
Yes. Now, obviously, you cannot break into a house through a window that has been cut with a knife that was in the house.
And then put it back.
Yeah.
I mean, you could break out with a knife that was in the house, but you're not going to go put it back before you're... Yeah.
No.
That makes
That was the point of
sense.
entry. So the point of entry was that screen through the garage.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, if you're
And
coming in,
yeah. So
you're
that
not
does
using...
make sense.
No,
Yeah.
that makes zero sense.
Yeah. So there's actually a lot of research that has went into that 911 call, okay? Like, there's an entire website, and I'll link the website that you guys can go. It's serious. I'm not kidding you when I say there is so much research on this case that you could... I mean, there's people that have literally dedicated their lives to this case. No joke. But this is this place, and they analyze 911 calls. And when I say analyze it, I mean, like,
Every syllable.
single word. Yes, is like analyze what they do. And so all 6 minutes were analyzed on this website. And so they pointed out that Darlie, when she was talking to the 911 operator about what had happened in her house, she never once said the names Devin or Damon. She only referred to the kids as like my children, my babies, or my boys. Never their names. And they said that was like a very suspicious thing. That is an indicator of guilt. They also said, so later on in the 911 call...
I feel like that's tough. I feel like we call Truman and Roman the boys all the time.
I agree. I don't put much stock into that. They also say that in this 911 call, the operator, she says there's a knife. He used a knife, and the operator says, okay, don't touch it. And Darlie is like, oh my gosh, she says, I touched it already. Oh no, like, what, my prints are going to be on it now.
Why are you thinking about your prints?
And that is exactly what they say. Like, excuse me? Like, your children are literally in your living room dying. Your neck has been slashed, and you are worried about your fingerprint. Like, I don't care what kind of crime junkie you are. Like, that is not going to be your first thought.
No.
So, red flag number 67 at this point. At the very end of the call, she starts to say that she thinks she's dying. Like, and they say that is just like an afterthought to her, like something that she feels like she needs to say. Like, she went the whole 6 minutes without saying anything about herself. And then she remembered, like, oh wait, I'm hurt too, because she like hurt herself,
Yeah.
So they're thinking that's what they're thinking. So the 911 call analyzed doesn't look good for Darlie. So then they're like, okay, so we're accusing this wife of,
Mom of three,
offing her 2 of her children here. And so they're like, why? Like, why would she do this? And so when they started to look closer at the Routiers, they had a really nice lifestyle. They had a really nice house, lots of jewelry, vacations, boats, cars. But they were running out of money, okay? Darren owned his own business, and so they actually had $22,000 in debt. But Darlie never stopped really like spending her money. She was still like getting her hair done and buying all of the nice things and living this like really nice life, even though the money wasn't really like flowing like it should have been, and they were racking up debt. And so police said that she knew things were getting bad financially, and so like that's why she killed them. But like,
I mean, does she have mental health problems before this? Because I feel like you don't just say this healthy person is going to kill her kids because they're running out of money.
Well, to that I say, like, how is killing your 5 and 6-year-old even going to save you that much money?
Right.
Like,
I mean, it's not.
Like, they're not that expensive. Yeah. So then they were thinking,
I don't like the motive. I don't like it at all.
Yeah. But that's what the police were
If you tell me she just got out of the like mental hospital for 6 months, then I'm like, that makes sense.
So
okay, here we go.
Police found a diary entry from Darlie from 1 month before the murders. And she was experiencing postpartum depression from having her first baby. And the diary said, quote, "I hope that you will forgive me for what I'm about to do." And it was a letter to Damon, to her kids, to Devin and Damon and Drake, the 3 boys. And it said, "I hope you'll forgive me for what I'm about to do," 1 month before.
Now you look.
Yeah. So the defense is like, well, that's pretty much a confession. Like, here's what we got. Like, or the prosecution, sorry, is like, we got all this evidence here and a freaking a letter.
I feel like that sounds like a suicide note.
So, yeah, all of this stuff, all of this is adding up. And so it's not looking great. And then everything was sealed on June 14th for Darlie when it was Devin's 7th birthday. Okay. They had already sent out the invitations to this birthday party when the murders happened.
Oof.
And they said Devin was so excited to turn 7 and he was so excited for this birthday party. The news people, she invited the news out. Darlie did, like, invited everybody out, and they were going to have this like birthday party and a graveside celebration. And she gives an interview, but what struck people as wrong, she like gives this interview and she's like smiling and like chewing gum, but like really annoying, like smacking on it. And she has these balloons everywhere, and like all these like kids are running around like it's like an actual birthday party, like in the cemetery.
Yeah, it's a little weird. That's not a little weird. That's a lot of weird.
Yeah. And she like, they sing happy birthday, and when they're done singing happy birthday, like they all spray silly string, and Darlie is just like smiling and giggling and like spraying silly string like everywhere, and they get it on camera, and that's what the news like posted, like her spraying this silly string.
Is this like a mom who just lost 2 children?
Yeah, and people were ticked, and like it was not good. Like that is why it became dubbed like the silly string case. Yeah. And so they the next day after that, they charged her with the murder, 1st-degree murder. They only charged her with 1 of the boys' murders because they were like, well, if we don't get a conviction on this one, like we have an entire
smart
one. Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah. And so they charged her with 1 of the boys' death just in case they didn't get it.
It's crazy
to
try
me again.
that like the family doesn't have a say in that.
Right.
Like if it was my
So the family's
boys,
like, absolutely not. Did she do this?
Yeah. So if I like if it was us, I'd be like, no, my wife didn't do that. Like we need to find somebody and charge them for both. If you're only charging her for 1, that means you don't know she didn't do it. Like get out of here. Like I would not even have been okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the dad like should have been able to. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Johnny, question for you.
Yeah.
If I was somewhere in Kokomo and it wasn't our house and it wasn't the flower shop, where would I be?
Easy. Humble home.
Yes, you're right. You guys, listen up. Humble Home is my absolute favorite place to be for so many reasons. No matter what I'm looking for, I always check Humble Home first. Clothes, shoes, toys, decor, furniture, makeup, they literally always have something that I need. They have brand name items for cheap. Their inventory is constantly changing, so it's part of my weekly routine to do a Humble Home walkthrough. You absolutely need to stop by. I promise you won't be disappointed. While it is a discount store, it's not your average discount store. It's clean, organized, and everything has its place. I get zero anxiety when I go in, unlike other discount stores. And no matter what you're shopping for, a home project, gifts, home decor, even seasonal decor, they will have it. They are open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday from noon to 5. You can follow them on Facebook at Humble Home Kokomo and watch for new items every single day. And for our Lafayette, Indiana listeners, I have exciting news. They are opening a second location in Lafayette soon. As soon as I have the details, I will let you know their opening date. Get excited.
So, the trial began on January 6, 1997, in Caryville, Texas. Obviously, the prosecution had a lot of evidence that we just went through here. It did not look good for Darlie. They basically came out and are like, this woman murdered her sons because of the financial difficulties that they were having. They made her out to be this like self-centered, basically. I mean, she had, they said she was materialistic. She was pretty, and she had bleach blonde hair. She had breast implants. She wore all this fancy jewelry. And so they painted her as this like really cold-hearted like lady that wanted to live a lavish lifestyle more than be a mom.
Man.
So they came out, they list all of that evidence that we just went through. And then they show the jury the silly string video. The jury asked if they could rewatch it when they were deliberating, and they watched it 11 times.
Man. Imagine how much. I mean, imagine being the prosecution being like, it was that much of a factor where they wanted to watch it 11 times. Like, that's crazy.
So the prosecution also had a crime scene consultant testify that the evidence inside the home was staged, and it was like a professional crime scene like person. And so Darlie was represented by her lawyer named Douglas Mulder, and the defense was like, literally, this is ridiculous. They were like, there is no financial motive for this murder.
I hate the motive.
They said the life insurance on the boys was $10,000, which was not even enough to cover the funerals.
Yeah.
And they said her husband had an $800,000 life insurance policy. Like, if we're going to off somebody, she would have offed him. He was fine. Also, why only kill 2 of the 3 kids?
Yeah.
Like, she had 3 kids.
Yeah.
Why only kill 1 of them? Like, it doesn't even, they were like, this motive makes absolutely no sense. They were like, you cannot put a woman on trial for having breast implants and blonde hair. Like, she's a mom. That doesn't make her bad.
Right.
Like,
right.
She cares how she looks. That doesn't make her a bad mom. That doesn't mean she killed her kids.
Right.
And so they were like, you literally, the defense was like, you have no motive. You have no confession, and you have no witnesses. Like, you cannot put this woman in jail when you have nothing.
For first-degree murder.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Crazy.
You said Texas, they have death penalty.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh,
like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Woof.
On February 1st, Darlie Routier was convicted of murdering Damon on first-degree murder.
Wow.
And she was sentenced to death by lethal injection.
What?
Lethal injection. She was sentenced to death under the Texas law, and she is in Gatesville, Texas, still to this day
on death row.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, dude. So like when I break this case down.
So how do you feel about it? All that evidence.
That's the case. Is the evidence?
Yeah.
The motive is awful. That's just not enough money to kill your kids.
Okay.
The mental health of postpartum, I cannot compute that. I can't fathom that. I've never been in that situation. I can't. So like. But if that were the case, though, it would be insanity. It would not be first-degree murder.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't make sense, though, because, like, you have 3 kids and she only killed 2. Like,
I mean, she was downstairs with 2. Like, a moment of insanity. Tragic. Not first-degree murder.
Okay.
The diary entry, I don't like, but to me, it sounds like a suicide note. Like, forgive me, why are you writing people you're going to kill? Like, they can't read it. They're 5 and 6, you know, like, so you're not writing to them.
Okay.
You know, unless you're going to kill yourself. So that sounds like a suicide thing to me, which tells me maybe she had some mental stuff going on. I'm not saying that I don't think she did it. I don't think it's first-degree murder, put her on death row, for sure. Like at the very least, it's not first-degree murder.
Okay.
But it's like, I mean, to me, the craziest thing you said is the butcher block knife that has the like. I mean,
the screen.
She cut that thing.
Yeah. Like, how do you even
argue otherwise?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if there's no evidence of there being somebody else, like there would have been blood everywhere, right? Like with a net cut like that, like a cut in your throat. I mean, even superficial, I just feel like thered be blood everywhere. It doesn't make any sense. None of that makes sense. But I don't see first-degree murder put her on death row. Like I definitely don't see that at all.
Interesting.
What are your thoughts? I mean,
Most people, which I'd be interested, I wish I could talk to you all right now, and I wish I could take a vote, because most people, when they hear that, they're like, put her to death. Like, that's enough evidence.
Like you killed your kids, put her to death?
Yeah. They're like, I mean.
No insanity. Like she was, in her own mind, killed her kids. Yeah,
I mean, at least that she did it. I mean, I don't know. Just most people are like, yes, she's guilty. Like, she killed her kids. You have, the no dust on the windows. Like, nobody came in that window.
That's what I'm saying. I cannot say that she did not
both knives were from inside the house. The blood over the sink. Like, she cut herself. Like, how do you not wake up?
Yeah.
When your kids are getting stabbed in the same room with you and you get slashed.
Yeah.
So most people are like, yeah, she did it. I don't know under what circumstances, but like her hands were on that knife, based off the evidence that I've.
Yeah,
given.
I mean, you can't dispute it.
Okay, I mean that's interesting. Like I said, I wish I could talk to all of you, and so I'm gonna ask. So I'm gonna end it here, because
The end of part 1.
I have an entire second half that's going to make you question everything.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So you have a week to comment on Facebook or Instagram or message us if you think, I'm not talking, I don't want to know the circumstances of like what first degree, second degree murder. I just want to know, do you think she, with her own hands, stabbed her children and cut herself? Yes or no? Guilty of that or not? Based off all of the evidence I've given you. Do you need a recap?
Go ahead.
We've got the knife that she said she picked it up from the utility room floor.
Hate it.
There was no blood on the floor.
Yeah.
The broken glass, which was on top of the blood.
See, to me, I mean, that I feel like that could be explained away. Like if there's a blood footprint and then she gets up and knocks it over.
that could be explained.
Like,
but nothing else in the room being like all torn.
the
Don't you
couch
think
should have
there'd
been
be-
covered.
So, yeah. Nothing was taken, so it wasn't like a robbery gone bad or anything. Small amount of blood on the couch. Tons of blood over the sink.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Her wounds being superficial, like not like okay.
I mean-
how do you stab these children just like awfully, but then just like the adult. in the
See,
room?
to me, I'm like, that is kind of a stretch too, saying that somebody else cut their own throat.
Okay.
I don't like that.
The screen being cut with a knife that was inside.
That is the big one to me. Like there is no sense in that at all.
And then you have
There's no other explanation to that.
Yeah, and then you have the fact that the windowsill was undisturbed.
Hate
the
it.
mulch was undisturbed. No signs of somebody coming in or out of that window.
Yeah, that's a problem.
The 911 call. Awkwardly saying, "Oh my gosh, my kids are on the knife."
I always feel this way about 911 calls. You can't put yourself in the situation.
Very true.
Everybody responds to trauma differently.
Very true.
So I have less weight in a 911 call as some might.
The motive that the defense
Stupid motive.
Yeah,
That's a stupid
prosecution was like, yeah.
They should have just after all the evidence they have, they should have just left the motive out of it. Like,
Yeah, right?
If I'd been on the jury, I'd been like, nobody's killing their kids for that.
Yeah. Diary note.
Like I said, it
The
sounded
postpartum.
like a suicide note to me,
Okay.
not a hey kid that can't read this. I'm sorry.
Okay. And then smiling and spraying silly string over your son's grave.
That is
15 days.
freaking weird. That's not a little bit weird. That's a lot of bit weird.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I got. I mean, that's it's cringy. It's bad.
I mean, I'm saying there's way more things pointing to that she done it than things pointing to she didn't do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let us know. Think about it. Join us back here.
I'm also want to point out that I'm very proud of you for not just automatically blaming the husband with your little husband did it trend that you always have. I don't think you said the husband did it once.
That's true. We'll talk about it
Okay.
later.
See you next week. This podcast is a So.Will.I.Studos production. So will I.
Did you know the Jefferson House of Flowers has been a local Kokomo florist for almost 100 years? Our trained designers make beautiful arrangements for literally any occasion. You can send flowers for any reason. Birthdays, anniversaries, get well, congratulations. The list goes on. We make flowers for funerals, weddings, proposals, and even proms. Let's be honest. Receiving flowers, whether you're at home or at work, it makes you feel special. You get butterflies and you feel loved, and that's what sending flowers is all about, the feeling it creates. Call us at 765-452-8269 and let us create something special and send it out for you. Or you can stop in and see us at 4300 West, 100 North Kokomo. We always have a cooler full of flowers that are ready to go, as well as a boutique full of gifts. Shop local, support local, and send flowers.